teenager,
right,
working out how things are, working out how to do dating and all of that, without the terror that if you touch in the wrong place at the wrong time, you may find that your whole life is destroyed.
Because girls are goofy.
What?
I like that.
As a mother of a teenage boy, I don't like...
Your thoughts?
What? See, that's crazy. See, that's how you know this lady's a f***ing maniac. I think men should be frightened. Of what? You see, the thing is, they're not, what she's talking about, men aren't afraid of doing something wrong and getting punished for it. Everyone knows if you do something wrong, you get punished for it. What they're afraid of is misinterpretation of innocent actions as guilty actions and then them being punished for that. Or women deciding later that they want to revoke consent after the fact and say, oh, I know, it was weird. 2 years later, they decided it was weird because someone told them it should be. They go online and write something and get you banned off the internet. Get your whole livelihood destroyed off of an accusation. The last time I checked, accusations don't mean guilt. You have to accuse me. If you really think I did something, call the police.
But that attitude actually is part of the problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's to me toxic femininity.
Hey, yo, what's poppin', y'all? I'm Ace.
Hi, and I'm Star. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
I bet. Let's get into it. Alright, so boom. We back with the resident goofball, Piers Morgan. And boy, by the tell me, hold on, I ain't plugging my laptop. But still, the resident goofball, Piers Morgan, arguing with some feminists, telling us about their opinion on the impact of the Me Too movement on young boys and young men. And from what I saw from some of the clips of this, Piers Morgan is like taking the side of somebody like Andrew Tate, which is crazy considering the discussion I seen y'all have, where I'm sure that Piers Morgan doesn't know what misogyny means.
Oh, what you say now, Chuck?
Exactly. What they say?
The revelations about disgraced movie director Harvey Weinstein's abuse of women sparked ensues now about, if not support. So was Me Too an overdue reckoning, or has it become a damaging battle in a raging culture war? Is it still with me?
That second thing. Well, yeah.
More so of
the first one, but then the second one.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. I'll start with you. I found it very interesting to interview Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate, both very controversial characters in different ways. Both positioned as a kind of kings of toxic masculinity. I certainly didn't think Jordan Peterson was that. And when it came to Andrew Tate, I couldn't really conclude after 90 minutes of grilling him. I gave him quite a hard time. I couldn't really conclude what he had done that was so bad that he had to be expunged from social media life altogether. But it showed me the sensitivity around all this. That if any man now behaves in a way that looks like it's toxic masculinity, bang, they're expunged.
The ban
that is true.
Right.
Process, masculinity itself getting expunged.
Right.
Yes.
I would say so. I mean, I'm sure that.
Wasn't expecting
this
that
nigga's voice is crazy.
Was not expecting that voice to come out of him.
Why you sound like that, B?
Okay.
I'm sure that you'll have this experience with your own relationships, Piers, and women, if you say something controversial, whether it's something on the Peterson side of the spectrum.
It's like he looks like if you gave Kevin Hart Wesley Snipes a voice. Be like, yo, why do you sound like that? Gave him Morgan Freeman's voice. Like, yo, why do you sound, you too small to have a voice that deep?
Right.
More explosive or a little bit more academic. Some women are very much drawn to a man who can be a bit more confrontational, say exactly what he thinks. It's the verbal new version of what gladiators used to do in the arena way back. Well, certainly, I think Ava and Isabel are laughing because they know that they're drawn to me in that way because of my combative nature. But Ava, you're smirking and laughing. I mean, there's a serious point here. A lot of young men feel they're getting disenfranchised by society. They're all being over-demonized. That any attempt to be the traditional male figure is now being rubbished and called toxic.
Facts.
It is.
Where's the lie?
Right. If you really felt that,
that's where
really
we come at now.
That's where we are now. You wouldn't be bothered about a bunch of women telling you that you were.
Are you stupid or something?
Right. What are you talking about?
He's hardly been cancelled. He was on your program.
What? You see, this is what I'm talking about. He's hardly been canceled. They banned this motherfucker off every social media possible. They're suppressing, the algorithm is suppressing clips that involve him or involve his name, but he hasn't been banned. That's like, this is what you were saying before about how these feminists feel like if a man is not like
burn him at the stake,
or hung from a tree, he hasn't been punished.
They want everything, and I mean
everything taken from you.
Taken from a
it's
man.
like,
and
what?
I cannot stand it. It's disgusting. Women want to treat men as if they're little children and they're in timeout. They need everything taken away from them.
Right.
No PlayStation, no nothing. You get literally nothing. But the problem with that is they're adults. They have to continue on living. So you taking away their career, their everything from them causes a problem, causes them to want to self-destruct. And that's a problem for me. That pisses me off.
Like, you have to understand that, like, when you take everything from someone, including their livelihood, then you have to
start from scratch.
Right. Then you have to go back, right? And you have to look at what they actually did and see if the punishment of having everything in your life taken from you is justifiable by what you did. If you said some bad words about women, even if we believe he said what he said, he hasn't committed any crimes, he hasn't done anything illegal, Tate. So
the whole purpose is
so if you believe exactly what you say you believe about him, if he did exactly what you said he did, he still wouldn't deserve to have his whole life destroyed.
Only thing that you want to target to do is try to take him out from the limelight that he's getting from the public eye. That's it. But further to do damage in the way that you want to do because he hasn't felt it enough, fuck out of here. I hate that shit.
I mean, that's the same shit Malika Andrews said about Ime Udoka.
Yeah,
he hasn't been
felt
punished.
It enough, right?
Like, what do you mean? They took him out. He's not the head coach of the Celtics. So what other punishment could he need?
Like, it's ridiculous.
He can't get another job. No, and Ime Udoka didn't
can
do
never
anything.
work again. Don't ever let him work.
And the crazy part is Ime Udoka
What?
didn't do anything, and neither did Andrew Tate.
Literally nothing. Literally.
Which is on national television.
But it's only platform actually he's had for a long time because all the social media companies banned him, literally banned him.
Yep.
He had his email gone.
Do you not know that, or are you just making stuff up?
No, she's not satisfied.
Well, he's still on there, very, very prolific on there.
Not by him.
Yeah, but they're not generated by him then.
Well, but that's been for quite some
But
time.
should he be punished that way?
Like, no. The point is that they're not generated by him. He can't make any revenue off his own mouthpiece. And to the extent that people are excoriating him online, he can't defend himself. Like, you know how crazy that is? Yeah. People just run with whatever weird narrative they want to, and there's no social media platform that you can get on to say that's not true. Like, seriously? Stop it.
But what is punished? What is punished?
See? What is punished? It's not good enough for her. It's not.
In this case, was perverse because they still allow, for example, the Ayatollah of Iran.
So, what is punished? He lost millions of dollars. You know how much money he would have been making on YouTube, on every social media platform? Millions of dollars this dude lost from being banned from everywhere.
Yep.
That stops him from marketing some of his... He has other businesses. So that stops him from marketing certain shit. It affects his other shit too.
That's her problem, because the fact that he's still flourishing, like he said, he even admitted, not many people can do the things that he does where he would be
because he was rich because he was rich before he ever made a YouTube video.
And that's her problem. She wants him to feel it, that she wants everything.
Feel what? He didn't do anything.
He's still thriving. That's her problem.
I can't.
She wants him to feel it.
She wants
he's
everything
still thriving.
taken.
Right. That's
like
her
what?
problem.
It's like what? He's still alive?
Yes.
So there's no consistency here at all.
Well, but however, we love a bit of free market, I'm sure.
Okay, so why are you stopping him?
Buy that suit, which is lovely. But you know, social media companies are private companies. They can do whatever they can do whatever they like.
Of course he will, yeah.
But Ava, your point about
she didn't have a point. Let's not play these fucking reindeer games. She didn't have a point. That was fucking vacuous nonsense.
Woman scorn.
Right, you just mad. Like shut the fuck up. Shut
Woman
up.
Scorn,
You just
so
fucking
she's gotta
mad.
burn everything.
Goofy.
Then they wouldn't be that bothered by
Right.
this. Doesn't really help us when it comes to boys growing up, and that is one of my worries. That for teenage boys now,
Right, because Andrew Tate will be fine. A young kids growing up today, they will not be fine.
And the statistics show that they're committing self-deletion
At higher rates.
Right, and that is consistent of the younger population.
they are so terrified of the consequences of putting a foot out of line. It's hard enough being a young teenager,
Right.
working out how things are, working out how to do dating and all of that, without the terror that if you touch in the wrong place at the wrong time, you may find that your whole life is
girls are goofy.
What?
I like that.
As a mother of a teenage boy, I don't like.
Your thoughts? What?
See, that's crazy. See, that's how you know this lady's a fucking maniac. I think men should be frightened. Of what? You see, the thing is, they're not, what she's talking about, men aren't afraid of doing something wrong and getting punished for it. Everyone knows if you do something wrong, you get punished for it. What they're afraid of is misinterpretation of innocent actions as guilty actions and then them being punished for that. Or women deciding later that they want to revoke consent after the fact and say, oh, I know, it was weird. 2 years later, they decided it was weird because someone told them it should be. They go online and write something and get you banned off the internet. Get your whole livelihood destroyed off of an accusation. Last time I checked, accusations don't mean guilt. You have to accuse me. If you really think I did something, call the fucking police. Don't get on the internet.
I think that men should be frightened.
I think you feel differently if you but we're talking about
but we're not talking about. We're talking about. It's an interesting thing that you see. I would say that attitude actually is part of the problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's to me toxic femininity.
Facts.
Saying you should all be terrified, you men. If you put one
assaulting.
No.
I think we all.
No, they're not terrified of assaulting. They're terrified of being falsely accused of assault because you fucking weirdos.
Right. I feel like she's the type of person that would do that. Like, she would regret a situation between her and a counter, between her and a guy, and because she regrets it, she would come out and
turn that into an assault.
Right. And that, I cannot stand that.
Right.
The simple fact is, women need to sit here and actually evaluate their emotions and feelings, and don't do things that they shouldn't or don't want to do.
Right.
Like, period.
Right.
Nobody's forcing you unless they force you, literally physically force you.
Or
then that
threaten you
is
or whatever.
great.
Right.
But otherwise, you have every willpower to say no if you don't feel comfortable. So don't sit here and play fucking foot games and pussyfoot and act like you didn't know what the fuck you wanted to do.
Right. And
I'm tired of this shit.
And then now a day you do something that maybe you don't want to do at the time, but you don't let the other person know that. And then the next day you say, I didn't want to do it. Well, how the fuck were they supposed to know that?
Right.
That's the part that matters.
You have to voice it. They're not mind readers. They can't figure it out. And sometimes body language doesn't scream the answer that you think it does.
Right. But to be honest, like, it's also the bastardization of words and language. These people don't understand what that word means. They don't understand what grape really is. They don't understand what SA really is. And so they're lumping in a lot of innocent, albeit weird, but innocent activities into that criminality. Because those things that you're saying, SA, grape, those are crimes. They're written down in the penal code. It's not just whatever you say on TikTok, it is.
Right.
Like, one goofy one time got on here, Al Gore's internet, talking about, it's SA if men talk to me.
Right.
Really?
Right.
You people are crazy. Yo, be over there with a dictionary.
It's literally gone too far. Like, literally.
Way too far.
The Me Too movement, it's like everything. The uncertainty of a woman doing these things, if her uncertainty on whether she wants to do it is considered SA, that's ridiculous.
Right.
That's ridiculous. Your uncertainty, then you need to not do that action.
Right.
Period.
If you're uncertain, then or
you're timid about it,
or you need to voice that. You need to
Right.
voice that because you need to voice that or make it known with your body language.
Right.
You can't just do something and then
You're not comfortable yet.
In your
Say
head,
it.
you're not comfortable, but you don't show it outwardly, and you do the thing, and then days later, weeks later, years later, you come out and say, "I wasn't comfortable." It's like, how would they know that? And the thing is that just that allegation is enough to ruin someone's career. So you can just change your mind about how you feel about it and ruin someone's life, and people will jump on the bandwagon.
What is an assault?
What Isabel's talking about is that young teenage clumsiness in many cases, which is now being recategorized as assault.
Right.
Is that a problem?
Yes, it is.
It's always been.
No, it hasn't been. You don't know what that word means.
People are just redefining anything these days.
In most cases, assault,
Do
isn't
you
it?
remember Aziz Ansari, right?
Yep.
Hot heels of Me Too. Hot heels of Harvey Weinstein, rightly being dragged through the courts, and he should have got way worse than just prison time, in my opinion. Aziz Ansari had a consensual relationship with a woman. She felt a bit awkward, and afterwards rescinded consent, and he was lumped in, and he had his.
No, I'm with you on that one.
Oh, you are?
Be afraid of that.
Because he didn't touch her without consent, did he?
Yeah, but the problem is it didn't matter. That's what she doesn't understand. She's like, well, I'm with you on that one because he didn't touch her inappropriately. You're right. He didn't do anything wrong. But it didn't matter because what she said.
She took it back.
Right, she took it back.
It's a problem.
She implied that he did something wrong. Even though the facts state that he didn't. And he still got smoked. His career has never recovered to this day.
You don't realize these words, these implications that you put on these men damage their lives.
They follow them forever. Like,
their lives.
It's insanity. Oh. Like, that's really the crazy part. He's like, oh, well, he didn't do anything. Touch her. It doesn't matter. She made it seem like he did, and it ruined everything. He came out and told the story, and it's like, bro, you didn't do anything wrong.
Facts.
It was weird. A lot of weird shit happens every day. It's not criminal.
No, but how are young boys supposed to navigate this, the whole thing? I'm thinking of my teenage son. You know, he's 14, 15. What's he supposed to say? Would you mind if I...
Isabel, you are an extremely strong woman. I know in your house you're teaching them the difference between assault and then...
You don't know the difference.
The whole point...
You don't know the difference.
The whole point of Aziz and that's his whole point. It doesn't matter what you do. She could teach her son everything properly, and one woman can destroy that no matter what because she recanted and took back her consent. That is the whole point. That is the whole point, is why it's gone too far. You redefine what SA and
what is they changed the facts after the event has happened.
Like,
bruh.
The Me Too movement, Time's Up movement, how it's all developed, because a lot of very bad people, Harvey Weinstein and others, got their due comeuppance. We can all agree with that. Yeah. This is not even something to be debated.
Right.
We're really talking about the grey line. Right? Where is that grey line? How do you navigate it?
Right.
When you're an experienced adult and you've been around the block,
you know how to navigate.
You can navigate that much more intelligently and with emotional intelligence than you can if you're a teenage boy. And I think the point Isabel makes is a good one. I've had 3 sons in their 20s. I've always taught them to be respectful to women. I believe they are. But I do think it's really hard for a 16, 17-year-old boy now in this environment to know even how to start
they are all
having some
terrified.
kind of physical
It's
relationship.
scary.
Those good boys are all terrified. I know that from talking to my son. He's just like, I'm just not going there. Is that healthy?
Yes.
No, it's not.
It's not.
I think it's better to not have a physical relationship than to have one that could ruin a woman's life.
But then how do they ever start?
Right.
Well, don't. If you're not 100% sure.
We go.
What?
You have a bunch of Newton boys.
It's so obvious.
We actually do have that. Gen Z is having far less sexual relationships than any
They are, it's true.
She just laughed like that?
I agree with the first part of your sentence, actually.
She's slow.
If you're not willing to have a sexual relationship...
Could you imagine someone this fucking stupid can go on Piers Morgan?
How do you not
She's
understand the detrimental effect that would cause in the long run? How do you not see that?
Because you have to understand,
No!
to some of these feminists, men are not people.
Literally.
Men are not people. So the fact that these young men are growing up in a fucked up situation, she doesn't care. She doesn't care. It doesn't matter.
Clearly defined lines don't have one. And so I actually told my mates at university, don't sleep around with girls. 1, girls don't bring a guy home that you don't know what he's capable of. 2,
I mean, look, that senses to me, when I was your age, right, how old are you?
23.
23. When I was your age, the idea you would even have that sort of thought process.
Yeah, I wouldn't have those sort of mates that would ever cross the line, so I wouldn't have to have that conversation with any of my friends.
Don't throw my mates in with a bunch of violent people.
And is there a certain purity here I'm detecting in a certain type of feminist who thinks that they're all unimpeachable and that this is all one-way traffic and that only men can be toxic?
No,
You do think that?
I've met quite a few women in my life who are pretty toxic themselves.
Facts.
And I don't see the debate being framed around that at all.
No, but the point is that
What's
we're
the
still
point?
in a situation where only 5% of rape cases actually even go to trial.
Which is ridiculous.
But that's the extreme end of it,
Yeah.
isn't
The
it?
idea-
You're talking
but
about
I'm
rape
talking
here.
about-
But we can all agree that's wrong. We can all agree that's wrong.
But okay, so even on the extreme end of it, rape doesn't even go to trial. If you're assaulted, and that is life changing.
Yeah.
What happened to Rose McGowan
Yeah.
with Harvey
I
Weinstein?
know Rose well.
Was
Yeah, but these are
life
extreme
changing, and
things.
she didn't get her comeuppance.
Yeah, but
She
we
lost
can all
her
agree
career.
about that. Well, I think what has sent a shudder through all of our spines from your mouth today is the line that all young men should be terrified of any physical contact. Well,
No, you didn't say that.
Basically, of starting any physical contact with a
Unless
woman.
you're sure.
She can rescind consent on something completely nebulous.
Right. How can he can never be sure because you can rescind consent after the fact.
Right.
That you actually can't.
Right.
That's not a real
That's not a thing.
That's not a thing.
No, you can't.
consent, you can feel bad how you want about it afterwards. It's over.
But it's
you can't
that
do
invisible wall for that women, and that's
Right.
the reason why it
But they'll
can
do
be
it right.
taken back.
But they'll do it anyway.
Right.
and motherfuckers will be punished for it.
That's not a thing, though.
Can I ask you this? If you were going to take someone to bed and you weren't 100% sure that they wanted to go to bed with you, would you go?
No, but that's not the point. The point is that they are 100% sure, and then the woman changes her mind afterwards, or even worse, says I didn't want to anyway, but yet never told you during the act, and you were 100% sure.
And there'll be many reasons as to why she all of a sudden regretted it for no reason. Like maybe she didn't like the sex or the hope that it would be better than what it was, or whatever the case may be. Whatever. It's always something with women as to why they just all of a sudden just don't want anything from you all of a sudden for men.
No, I would not do that. But the point was, Ace&StarTV was sure, for example, and then later she went and published a long piece about how she regretted it and lumped him in with Harvey Weinstein.
I mean,
And she's not going to answer the question.
The pendulum has gone.
I'm about to cut this off.
No, I don't.
Look, she just heard about Aziz Ansari, said she agreed with what he said about Aziz and that he was wrongfully accused, and then has the pendulum swung too far? No. Okay, get her out of here. She's fucking stupid.
I don't think we've brought anything into schools. To your point, we haven't brought any teaching into school about what is assault, what isn't.
You don't know what it is!
Damn sure don't.
You don't know!
Damn sure don't.
16-year-old boys not understanding what it is. Bring in sexual health lessons.
You don't know.
You
don't know that.
Teach rapists not to rape is insane because they already
Right.
What do you mean?
Right.
Right.
That's the one thing that's so hilarious. Is like you don't have to teach rapists not to do something. They already know that's illegal. Everyone knows that's illegal.
Okay, right. You're saying if boys wouldn't know what's assault and what isn't.
Yeah.
Right, okay. The idea that rather than taking the power out of someone who can make a false accusation is what they're actually, most of them are concerned about. Specifically, my friends, for example, who would never dream of doing something like that. But then what the feminists fail to understand is you can educate evils.
Shut up!
Did you not identify yourself as a feminist, sorry?
No, I didn't actually.
Oh, okay, sorry. Piers,
not
so then
feminist.
that's...
Well, Piers labelled me.
Actually, I called you a toxic feminist.
Yeah, he did.
Right.
Oh, fair enough. But you
Right.
cannot, if a rapist is willing to violate the law so violently, you cannot teach him out of that. All you can have is very harsh punishments to deter.
Right.
I'm talking about the grey line, and the grey line is at parties of not understanding that when a woman is so inebriated that she can't stand up, boys need to understand that is
Well, that's a different line.
That's a given.
Number one, that's a different line, and number two, everyone knows that.
Right.
Too inebriated to stand up, everyone knows that. The problem is that motherfuckers like you will say that if she's had 3 drinks, that she's too inebriated. That's not true. And everyone knows that.
And there are only a select few people that will abuse that power, and those are the people that need to be punished. But not every man.
And sex ed classes are not going to stop them from doing that. They're going to do it anyway. They know it's illegal. So therefore, that's what he said. The boy said you need to have punishment to deter bad behavior.
Individual impulses and acts don't account for everybody.
Right.
All of men.
Like
stop it.
Like that's one of the things they don't understand is that you're not gonna ever remove all criminality from society.
Right.
Humans are just like that. Some people are messed up. He's never gonna do that.
Something else, Ava. I would like to know whether you accept that women, and particularly teenage girls and young women, sometimes give out pretty mixed signals. They give out mixed messages. They're not even sure what they want at any given time.
Right.
I think we're victim blaming.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
Oh my God!
So do you,
Oh shit!
Every sinew of your body knows what she just said.
do you accept
It's a
women
fact.
can sometimes
It's a woman
give off
saying
mixed
that,
messages? Come
And
on,
it's a
I'm
fact.
Sure, but
That's a
I'm
non-denial.
sure, but I'm talking about assault.
So how are you
No, but
supposed
I
to?
don't think any of us disagree about assault. We're talking about the far greyer line
Right.
of young teenage fumbling.
exactly.
And if they've all stopped having sex, it's because they are actually terrified. And I think it's a great shame if they're terrified into actually having no physical interaction with
Exactly
sex.
that. And the
How
other
do you get
point,
past
can
that?
I
This
make
one was a
another point,
maniac,
which is
bro.
this whole thing
You're
of
going to the
dressing
far
up
extreme. We're talking about the
allegations
grey
of
line.
10 or 20 years old, I think is absolutely awful.
Why?
Because it's a he said, she
Well,
said. It's
Isabel,
impossible to
why?
prove.
Yes.
And there are people whose careers and their lives
Right.
are completely ruined
Right.
by allegations that are brought a decade or more after the event. Now, obviously,
Right.
if the person
Right.
was a minor at the time,
Right. If you were a minor at the time, that's different.
That could
But
be
if
detrimental to
you're
your
an adult, I really don't care about this. Show up 30 years later, motherfucker. When someone does something to you, tell the fucking police. That's the only way that society functions.
Yeah.
If you start keeping it and then you want to pop up later, like after the fucking statute of limitations is
It
about to
hurts
be up,
you.
and then you want to say, "Oh well, I was scared to do it then because of the power he had." Bruh, I don't give a fuck about that. You have to tell when someone does something to you. That's the only way that life works. Otherwise, you're just bullshitting.
Because you know what? A lot of y'all who have kids, tell y'all kids the same thing. As parents, y'all tell y'all kids, you fight or say something. If somebody hurts you, you say something.
Right.
That's what you tell your kids. Guess what? As an adult, you should know the first thing that you should do. Your first step.
Right.
In order to help yourself, you need to speak up. Voice yourself.
Of the incident, of the alleged incident.
I can't believe you're saying this. We shouldn't bring up historic assault claims. That's absolutely crazy.
You should be bringing.
Women who would have been too afraid to confront it at the time because they were too young or too powerless to bring it up in the first place.
See, I would actually side slightly with Ava here, in the sense I don't have a problem with historic crimes. For example, Harvey Weinstein, they're all historic. Has there actually? For something like Harvey.
There does have to be a cutoff point. There does have to be a cutoff point because there's a thing called court and law and evidence gets stale after 30 fucking years. People forget what happened. People forget how they felt. People forget what they did. Like,
it affects the help that you need in order to.
There's a reason why the only thing that there's no statute of limitations on is murder.
SA?
No.
Oh,
it's murder.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Homicide. Every other thing has a statute of limitations. And something as complicated as SA should have a short statute of limitations. Like, get to it. It depends on what it is and where you are. But 10 years, maybe, something like that. It's not 15, maybe.
Or should the victims who are all bullied and scared
I think it depends I think it depends on the severity of the allegation. Obviously, if it's something, it's a rape case or something. But if it is he put his hands on my knee.
You're talking about the journalist movement. The journalists that bravely came forward and told about how cabinet ministers had touched them inappropriately on the knee, which was horrendous.
I don't care. Touch my knee, shut up. I'm done with this stupid shit. Like, I'm only here for facts, law, and evidence. And generally speaking, you bring up a case from 30 years ago, the evidence is trash. People have died. Like, papers are lost. Like, security cameras, all kind of stuff that you would have in a case that happened 3 years ago versus something that happened 20 years ago. You don't have it. And
that's your case.
All right, and we're not chasing down 30-year-old allegations that we don't even know are true. At least when it's a 30-year-old murder, we got a body, so we know he's dead. Somebody did something to him. But it's like, we got to figure out whether there was a crime at all. And not always when there is an allegation was there actually a crime. Anyway, that's it for this one. We'll holler at you. That's the definition of misandry. When you hate men.